keep right across all the latest information as it happens on our dedicated Transfer Centre blog. To scan the QR code on the screen right now.
And it is a very busy afternoon. One transfer line to bring you as well from Manchester United.
Can any of you see?
I think it's gone too far now. I think, like you mentioned, there's been that apology and that wait for an apology that hasn't come. The only way I think it would be realistic is if Ten Hag wasn't there anymore and then he could come back under a new manager and maybe reignite his career at Manchester United that way. But I think for the short term, until the end of the season, it feels like a good decision. And I'm not saying, by the way, I'm not having any indication on Ten Hag and his managerial position. I'm just saying that's probably the only realistic option if there's a change in manager, because the relationship between the two of them is completely broken down. He's not involved in first team training. He's not got that relationship anymore. There's no real kind of attempts anymore to try and build that back up, is there? So you can't realistically say you can come back onto that and get back to the top.
Well, he's emblematic of Manchester United's transfer policy as of late. You bring in a player for big money, expect them to perform whilst not considering the system that they're being dropped into.
Oh, he went in. I was like, I'm not saying anything. And Craig was like,
no, but it's true. No, it's true. And it's you can lay the blame at the door of Erik Ten Hag, but you can lay the blame at so many people, and that's the reason why Ineos have come in and they've got a new ruthless strategy. Melissa already talked about it in December about how Manchester United are going to be ruthless when it comes to contracts and when it comes to moving players on that don't fit culturally. And I think that Sancho is an example of that. And as a result of that, if Ten Hag does stay at United long term, I
can see him coming back. I can see him playing for Manchester United again at some point and actually still being a success. I really do.
I think the only way that could happen is like Harriet suggests, if there was a managerial change at Manchester United and Erik Ten Hag wasn't there anymore. I think that's probably the only way. Football does change extremely quickly. I believe, in my opinion, Ineos' plan is to continue with Erik Ten Hag at least until the summer, get some calm, get some structural changes, and hopefully Erik Ten Hag can be at the helm with those changes around him and see a different look to Manchester United, a different feel. And I think if that still, I think it will, comes to an end at Borussia Dortmund, I think if Erik Ten Hag's still there, I think it'll be very, very unlikely. Unless here's an apology and the two can, shake hands and move on. Football, funnier things have happened in football, but I think it's extremely unlikely.
Manchester United could be on the verge of one of the most important midfield rebuilds in recent club history. Reports linking the Red Devils with a sensational double move for Éderson and Elliot Anderson have sparked huge excitement among supporters, and for good reason. After years of inconsistency, lack of control, and tactical imbalance in midfield, United appear ready to build a new foundation capable of competing with Europe's elite. Éderson has emerged as one of the most complete midfielders in European football. The Atalanta star combines physical strength, relentless work rate, defensive intelligence, and progressive ball carrying, making him an ideal modern box-to-box midfielder. His ability to win possession, break lines, and dominate transitions could provide the stability Manchester United have desperately lacked. Meanwhile, Elliot Anderson brings a different dimension to the midfield. The talented youngster offers creativity, technical quality, vision, and composure on the ball. His ability to connect midfield and attack could unlock a new level of fluidity in United's play while also fitting perfectly into a long-term project. Together, These two midfielders could create the perfect balance between defensive security and attacking creativity. More importantly, this potential double signing signals a major shift in Manchester United's transfer strategy, prioritizing tactical fit, energy, and long-term development over big-name signings alone.